Frutiger Metro, also known as Flat Frutiger Aero, Vector Metro, or Vector Vomit, is a broad aesthetic that encompasses the Frutiger vector-based graphic designs of the 2000s. These designs share a lot of similarities with Frutiger Aero and other aesthetics of the time. Unlike Frutiger Aero, which contains large amounts of depth and texture, Frutiger Metro is flat. Its name comes from its father aesthetic, Frutiger Aero, which it bears a heavy resemblance to. The second part of its name, Metro, is derived from the Metro design language created by Microsoft, which was utilized in Windows 8, Frutiger Metro's most prominent appearance. Alright, I want to preface this by saying that it's aggravating when people say something is or isn't an aesthetic even if it embraces the core aspects of it. On one hand, aesthetics are a broad catch-all statement for a je ne sais quoi, which can differ from person to person. Art doesn't have defined rules, and there's always going to be some sort of individualistic input from every single design. But on the other hand, we use these labels and categorize aesthetics in order to share similar ideas with other people. A little bit of gatekeeping is necessary in order to keep things orderly. Now, I'm typically on the side of broad catch-all statements for aesthetics, and I wanted to say that before I say that I believe that Frutiger Metro is a misnomer. First of all, the Metro design language by Microsoft just doesn't look like that. Very few similarities cross over between the two. Here's Frutiger Metro, and here's Metro. Frutiger Metro, and Metro. Only a few things pass between these two designs, namely the time period and flat graphics. And the thing is, I know that I'm right about this because the Frutiger Metro aesthetics wiki page recently got updated with many different subcategories, and all of the UI Metro-based graphics are at the very end lumped together. Also, Frutiger Aero has similarities, but ultimately the two are different. You can't say Frutiger Metro is just Aero but flat, because they both embrace different design trends. Therefore, calling these designs Frutiger Metro doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The most Frutiger Metro thing I've seen based on the old definition is this Windows 8 Seattle wallpaper. There's a mix of flat vector-based graphics and some abstract stuff here and there, along with a lot of lifelike imagery from Frutiger Aero. It seems like appealing to humanism taken into the newest direction. But most Frutiger Metro stuff does not look like this. In fact, this image looks a little AI generated, honestly. But people already use this name, so let's work backwards. Focusing on the Metro aspect of the name, I see a lot of references to skating and graffiti in a lot of this artwork. There's also a lot of other design trends which I think I could lump in with the metropolitan aspect. Stars, comics, rays, a love for music, and just general teen edginess. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, it was pretty romantic to move to the big city and all that. I also feel like the design catering to teens embraces the idea of Frutiger Aero catering to a wide demographic. Just now that demographic is a lot smaller and direct. So my favorite broad definition is based off the Vector Bloom subcategory. Frutiger Metro is a design aesthetic which utilizes flat, minimalist assets in a maximalist way, typically catering to a teenage demographic. I believe this definition effectively conveys the idea of Frutiger Metro while still differentiating it from similar styles at the time, like the Metro design language or the Cartoon Network nudes. Remove catering to a teenage demographic from the definition and you get Metro. Remove flat from the definition and you get the CN nudes theme. Also these old desktop wallpapers. If anyone has a name for this, please let me know. Also, those two designs are pretty similar in that they embrace the core idea of Frutiger Metro. I've also found them to be embraced as Frutiger Metro by other people, so I mean you could totally remove the idea of flat minimalist assets and catering to a teenage demographic entirely from the definition itself. I'm not saying that Metro shouldn't be a part of Frutiger Metro, I'm just saying that I don't believe that Frutiger Metro originates from the Metro design language. But I believe these two designs totally embrace the core idea of Frutiger Metro in that they have minimalist assets in a maximalist way. Urbling is another similar aesthetic at the time. Urbling, urban, metro, Frutiger Metro, and they both share very similar design ideals, but Urbling feels more individualistic and city-centric. You could also focus on the idea that metro equals metropolitan, which equals the surrounding area, not just the urban area, which gives Frutiger Metro more of that suburban feel, if you really want to get geeky about it. Frutiger Metro also feels a bit like corporate grunge. To me, it's like pop punk, corporations selling rebellion to young, impressionable teens. Also, a lot of the designs are loud and obnoxious. And with all that analysis out of the way, it's time to show you some of my favorite Frutiger Metro designs. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about is this. I have no idea if this is Frutiger Metro or not. I felt like it was Frutiger Metro, but it does look a little grungy. Also, I think the paint splatter and the general teen vibiness, sort of fake Riot Girl, gives it that sort of Frutiger Metro vibe. I also had a yearbook I wanted to show you from my middle school days, but I lost it, and instead I found it online, so I'll show you that now. One of my personal favorites is the T-Mobile Sidekick 4G. The original Sidekick sort of had a Frutiger Aero design, but the later design was very Frutiger Metro. A part that really exemplifies this is the lock screen clock. It gives you the time in English. I couldn't think of a more minimalist, yet non-utilitarian way to give you the time. There's also the many backgrounds, which really exude Frutiger Metro. Not to mention the excessive use of angles, and some of the stripes on the UI.